woods.
Well, he'd better come soon and deliver the goods, because I asked for a lot of things I want to get. And if I don't get them, I'll be real upset.
Me too. There's a new talking doll I must own. I know I can give it a very good home.
Come here, my little ones. Come, take my hand. I think you're both old enough to understand this Christmas story I want to tell. So listen, grandchildren, and listen well. About a boy, not much older than you, who wanted everything from Santa too. Jeremy Creek had too many toys, enough for 442 boys. He'd got them from parents, from uncles and cousins. He'd got them in boxes. He'd got them by dozens. He'd got them by whining and sucking his thumb and pounding his fist till his fingers were numb. By making a terrible drone when he didn't have something he wanted to own.
Looky here, kids, it's new and it's bigger. Cowboy Bob and his Wonder Horse Jigger.
Even the neighbors were holding their heads.
Our children are lying awake in their beds. This pounding and whining keeps us all awake.
This racket is more than we neighbors can take.
So poor Mrs. Creek, Jeremy's mom, begged Jeremy Creek,
Please don't suck your thumb.
begged Jeremy Creek.
Please don't whine. Please don't pound.
And then Mom lost it.
Please just settle down.
That's right.
Yelled his father.
From now on, no noise. You hear me, my boy? No noise or new toys. You're spoiled, and we've spoiled you. This nonsense must cease. You'll learn to be good. We all need some peace.
You've got enough stuff. Enough is enough.
It's not like they have to buy toys for another. I don't have a sister. I don't have a brother.
Young Jeremy Creek stomped up to his lair. He wanted to whine. It just wasn't fair. But he perched on the knob at the head of his bed
2001, 2002, 2003.
and counted the toys piled around him instead. There were 55 cans of the gooeyest goo for molding weird shapes, like the people he knew. 9 plastic planets, 12 rockets of tin, spacewalks, and boxes for keeping things in. There were armies of soldiers with tiny field packs and tinier Indians on tiny horsebacks. 8 bats for baseball, 6 catcher's mitts, and 66 quick-to-fix Dracula kits. Train tracks galore covered the floor, enough for 404 boys or more. There were puzzles for figuring, fake worms for wiggling, more toys than ever one boy ever had. Especially a boy who was greedy and bad. He even had toys only older boys owned. A remote-controlled plane, a portable phone, a green rubber mask tied with string to his face so he'd look like the Thing from Invaders of Space. Thousands of toys heaped from ceiling to floor. But Jeremy Creek wanted more, and still more. He dug through a box full of Halloween stuff, crammed with mustaches, eyelashes, beards made of fluff, just like the one on Santa Claus' chin. Now, there was a guy who had more toys than him, and his mind started spinning as an idea popped in. If his mom and dad wouldn't buy him more toys, he'd write to old Santa, who understands boys. He'd write his list now. He'd mail it off soon. Send early for Christmas. He'd mail it in June.
The town stopped.
With a half mile of paper, he started his note.
Dear Santa, I need this for Christmas.
He wrote,
I need bugles, tin whistles, crowns of air missiles, a balloon with a chair that can rise in the air, a giant ghost puppet with invisible strings.
he asked for whole toy shops of wonderful things. He wrote and he wrote till his arm was quite sore. But that didn't stop him. He still wanted more. From rowboats to robots, his list had it all. And it stretched down the stairs and heaped in the hall. He wound up and bound up his list in a bale, then tried to send it off via airmail. Trying again, this time without fail, he sent it to Santa by second-class mail. In Santa Claus' barn, far north of the sun, 12 elves stacked up shelves with toys by the ton. Then Santa drove in, ho, 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 with good cheer.
Our Christmas mail started. First letter this year.
The elves scurried down from the lofty toy shelves, eager to see the first mail for themselves. They gaped with surprise at the huge piece of mail that filled up the sleigh like a fat baby whale. The 12 elves unrolled it so Santa could see.
Who wrote this long note? Just who could it be?
Farther and farther the white strip stretched out. Thousands of wishes, too many to count. As the last inch unrolled, one elf gave a shriek.
Send gifts by sleigh mail to Jeremy Creek.
Jeremy Creek? Just who could he be?
Got me.
Santa polished his glasses so he could see. No boy or girl could need more than a store, and the list did consist of a storeful and more. Then Santa whirled, and a smile curled his face.
This Jeremy Creek is the name of a place.
Santa's map was as big as the side of a church. He said to his elves,
Don't just stand there. Let's search.
They searched the map sideways. They searched up and down. For this town of Jeremy Creek must be found.
There it is. There.
Yelled a thin elf named Pump.
Just north of the south on the edge of the swamp. It has 2,000 girls and 2,000 boys.
No wonder this town needs so many fun toys.
But it's not on our route.
Gasped a stout elf named Pout.
For a great many years, we've been leaving it out.
That's awful, just awful. What a sad, sad mistake. Each Christmas, those children must think I'm a fake. But this year, they'll get all the gifts on the list. I insist we'll make up for the Christmases missed.
The weeks and months passed. It seemed, oh, so slow.
Oh, I just can't wait for old Santa to show.
While up in the snow of the chilly North Pole, elves worked willy-nilly to meet Santa's goal.
Hurry up. Let's go.
No time to lose. We've got to keep it snappy.
We've boats and planes and trains to make.
I'll drink with this carol.
I'll finish up this toy trombone.
So much to do, so little time till Christmas Day.
Oh, Trevor, here.
And hammer it in.
And ribbon wheels together.
And so that soldier's going to the...
And give this cap a feather.
The merry Yuletide season's near.
Oh, yes, my favorite time of year.
So much to do, so little time till Christmas Day.
Is this a great bunch of elves or what? Ho, ho, ho.
It's Christmas cheer means lots of work.
And lots of ho, ho, hoy.
But here the work is just like
My
play.
elves just keep on going.
We'll pile the toys up in it.
And pack the rest 10,000 deep.
So much to do, so little time till Christmas Day.
Then fall turned to winter. The trees were left bare. And finally, the night before Christmas was there. Jeremy Creek, that most greedy of boys, climbed out of his window to look for his toys.
The minute that Santa Claus passes this way, I'm gonna claim every toy stuffed in his sleigh. I'll have all of Santa's gifts, all to myself.
This selfish young man cared for nobody else. The minutes flew by, and the wind blew its snow. Hour piled on hour. Still, the sleigh didn't show. So he climbed up the weather vane, higher and higher, smelling the smoke from some other folk's fire. He listened and watched from the top of his roof for some sign of Santa, a reindeer, a hoof. Then came a light, riding high near the moon. 'Twas the sight he'd been waiting for ever since June. The huge magic sleigh glowed a Christmassy green, then zipped to each rooftop, too swift to be seen. And fat, laughing Santa, ho, 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 ing with glee, flew down each flue with the speed of a flea. Jeremy Creek, up weather vane high, excitedly watched as Santa sparked by. Down chimneys, down drain pipes, the chubby saint squeezed, changing his size with grease ease as he pleased. Then, without warning, the green glowing sleigh rose suddenly upward.
Up, up, and away.
Wait!
Wailed Jeremy with all of his might. Too late, the sleigh hovered, then zipped out of sight. chimney still sparkled with Santa's red fizz. Every house visited, all except his. Jeremy Creek, sniffling with gloom, flicked tears from his cheek and went back to his room. Santa had missed him.
But why was I missed? Me who wrote Santa a half-a-mile list.
He pounded his wall. He pounded his bed. He pounded his pillow and buried his head.
The town.
Jeremy woke from an unhappy dream, only to hear the neighbor kids scream. They were out playing in snowy white drifts, showing off all their Christmas Day gifts. Then an idea popped in Jeremy's head.
Could Santa have snuck through the window instead? What new toys for me might be under the tree?
The tree was aglitter with garlands and more, but nothing was under the tree except Floor.
No gifts, I'm afraid.
Shrugged his mom from the door.
But you've got so much stuff, you couldn't need more. Your room's jammed with toys, so what could we buy? Even Santa was baffled. He must have flown by.
Wailed Jeremy loud as could be. Shh, said his dad. I'm watching TV. Jeremy went in the den, still in shock, barely noticing Dad was wearing new socks.
Here we are in this crumbling swamp town with tin roofs, broken windows, and streets muddy brown, where thin, ragged children with sad puppy eyes usually romp in the swamp with the flies, usually play in the mud making pies. But last night, Santa Claus must have touched down. Thousands of gifts have been stacked in a mound for the thousands of kids in this muddy swamp town.
This is as boring as TV can be. So these kids each got presents. All I care about's me.
Then something happened on the TV that shook the mean boy like a leaf on a tree.
Yes, this poor town, once joyless and bleak, goes by the name of Jeremy Creek.
Jeremy Creek?
Cried his dad and his mom.
A town with the very same name as our son.
Jeremy Creek?
The greedy boy's eyes opened wide in surprise.
Jeremy Creek?
The town had his name. His name and the name of the town were the same.
These are the kids Santa always left out. Oh, and I'm informed that this town wasn't marked on his route.
So there's where my toys went.
Thought Jeremy grimly.
They went to that town instead of my chimney.
And his anger grew stronger as he watched a boy trot, full of pride, side by side with a brand new robot, which Jeremy had asked for and wanted a lot. And the longer he watched, the more angry he got.
Have you something to say, little girl?
If I can.
Then speak in the mic. Face the cameraman.
I want to thank Santa.
The girl cleared her throat.
You must have dropped Santa a very long note.
Well, all I can say is none of us wrote.
That's just amazing, because if it's true, some kid did something real special for you.
Whoever you are, whoever did write, we'd like to say thank you with all of our might.
Jeremy heard the words and just froze, blushing with guilt from his head to his toes.
Special?
He couldn't believe what she'd said.
My greed has been taken for kindness instead.
Now, everyone, everywhere, thought some nice kid had tried to help others, though he never did. No one had guessed the note was sent by a meanie who planned to grab everything, king size and teeny. And he watched as the thousands of kids on TV waved their toys in the air for the whole world to see. And he thought,
Did I ask for all of that just for me? How mean and greedy can one kid be? Goodbye!
So thousands of girls and thousands of boys are spending this Christmas with lots of new toys because some nice youngster who knew they were missed wrote to old Santa and sent him a list, crayoned on paper that stretched half a mile. Writing this list must have taken a while.
What a nice thing to do.
said Jeremy's mother.
It's kind when a person does things for another.
Strange. Didn't say who he was on the letter.
Good people don't boast who they are. They know better.
Jeremy Creek, face flushed with pride, suddenly felt tears well up inside. Tears that the little boy wanted to hide. So he ran from the den till his misty eyes dried. He dropped on the floor, crawled under the tree, and hid in the glow where the gifts ought to be, knowing that somehow he had done a good thing, made him feel light as a bright angel's wing. It was kindness he felt. A change had begun. His greedy core melted like frost in the sun. He felt happy and warm, crouched there on the floor.
Gee, I wish I'd learned to be nice long before.
He gazed at the sights of the tinsel-decked tree. Through the twinkling lights, he thought he could see a small, jolly Santa, the size of an egg, sitting above him, swinging one leg. Santa said,
Hi, I've made myself small and flown down to tell you I know about all. How you were greedy, why you were missed, and how the needy got the toys on your list. Now the Swamp Town kids thank you and ask me to bring their hero and friends a magical thing. So, what would you like on this fair Christmas day?
Gee, I really can't say. What I thought that I wanted was given away. And after what's happened, I've come to believe it's more fun to give than it is to receive.
Then this is my gift. Beginning today, you'll be my assistant aboard the Great Sleigh. You're just the right boy to help give toys away.
no boy was better from that Christmas day. He cleaned up his room, and he gave things away. Each Christmas Eve, he'd wait on his roof for some sign of Santa, a reindeer, a hoof. And when the sleigh landed, he'd climb on its skids, eager to visit the roofs of good kids. Little Jeremy helped Santa give gifts away until he got big, way too big for the sleigh. He still thinks about it to this very day. Once you start giving, it's always that way. Well, that's the story.
And all of it's true?
If you believe it.
Well, I sure do. You know, even though Santa hasn't gotten here yet, I really don't care now about what I get.
I could get nothing and not be upset.
Then you've taken the story to heart, I believe. It's always more fun to give than receive.
But doesn't poor Santa Claus still need a hand?
What about Santa, that overworked man?
Yes, every few Christmases, Santa must choose a new boy or girl for his Christmas Eve cruise, to help him deliver the toys down the flue, to help drive the reindeer. Will it be you? Or will it be you?
I could help Santa. It could be me.
Or me.
It could even be me.
St. Nick's got here, and there's more great family holiday cheer coming up next on NBC with the 12 Days of Christmas. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. Next on NBC.